We're here indeed to let you in on some news just coming in. We understand, as we told you earlier on in the day, the mortal remains of our own Komla Dumo, who died January 18 this year, is being flown home. Currently, we have our correspondent at the Kotoka International Airport. Now, let's go on the telephone lines now and speak with them. Stephen.
Yeah.
Tell us what's happening there, Stephen. Can you hear me, Stephen? Hello, Stephen?
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Can you tell us what's happening there at the Kotoka International Airport?
Right. Right now, we are expecting the body to arrive anytime from now, maximum in 30 minutes. We're expecting the body to arrive here at the airport. As you could possibly hear in the background, dignitaries have gathered and seated already. We have been briefed by the spokesperson for the family at Takoba.
Right.
She has laid out exactly what is going to happen here, that Komlahu is a royal of the Aflao traditional area, will first be received by the paramount chief of Aflao when the body touches down. So after he has done that, the church, the Catholic Church, which he belongs, that's the denomination he belongs to, will also perform the necessary rituals to receive the body as it touches down to Ghana from London. Now, our understanding is that this is going to be a very short ceremony here on the tarmac at the airport from where the body will be taken away. We've not been told yet where it will be taken to, but I do believe that it will be taken to a private funeral home, and subsequently we'll know any other details that will be communicated to us.
Now, you've told me the people, the kind of people there. You said that the family are gathered there, that is those who are not in London. But then, which other people are there?
Well, the family is the main thing, and friends and well-wishers. The media presence is heavy. I reckon that the BBC is represented, and we've seen known family faces. I've seen Victor Beho here myself. I've seen Chifatu Mashi. Also, I spotted quite a number of dignitaries. I've seen Sisi Kwete, who is the Minister of State at the presidency, also here. A delegation from the state protocol is also stationed here as well. So although the crowd is a pretty small crowd, I reckon that it is because of the security arrangements put in place and the accreditation process to make this ceremony as private as possible. So that's what I can tell you.
Right, thank you. But before I let you go, can you just briefly tell us how the mood is there? The mood there is like?
It's a somber mood, and as is expected, it's dawning on everyone that this well-loved Ghanaian journalist we all cherish. And if there is any doubt in anybody's mind that he is gone, today is a signal that indeed he is gone. And we're expecting the body to touch down. So when Esther Koba was briefing the media, her demeanor obviously portrayed that somberness and sadness on the face of everyone who is here. And as she said, that the family will treat this extremely private. So everybody is sad, and journalists are pitched behind where we have been allocated, ready to take all the necessary shots that we are expected to take. So that's what I can tell you about the mood here. And you can hear in the background that songs are being sung in preparation to receive Komla as the body touches down from London.
Yes, thank you very much, Stephen Ainty. Stephen Ainty is at the Kotoka International Airport monitoring activities there as the mortal remains of Komla Dumo is being flown back home. But up next is the news. Please stay.
From the Joynews Center. This is News at 8.
Hello, welcome to the Primetime News here on Joynews. I'm Gifty Ando up here. Of course, you know that this bulletin is also live on Allied Broadcast Network, that is ABN, on Sky Channel 290. We have local, international, business and finance, as well as sport. But first, let's give you a snapshot of the top stories. Remains of BBC's Komla Dumont arrives in Accra in about 30 minutes. Angry residents of Kenya say in the Ashanti region battle police as demonstration over poor roads turn violent. Students of the University of Ghana to embark on series of protests beginning Tuesday, February 11. Transport Ministry says an allocation of $500 million from the CDB loan will revitalize the rail sector. Coming up in business, sand and stone contractors give government a 2-week ultimatum to revert decision on the implementation of the new axle load limits, or they will demonstrate. On the international front, former Nigerian Vice President Atiku Abubakar defects to main opposition party. We have these and a live coverage of the arrival of late BBC broadcaster Komla Dumont coming up in a moment. Please stay. Let's take off now. An angry youth at Kenya Say Ebrim in the Ashanti region have demonstrated against the deplorable nature of Kumasi and Twa Bonwe Road. The agitated youth say the road is in a poor state compared to all other roads linking the main business district center of Kumasi. According to them, several contacts with the district chief executive and the member of parliament to rehabilitate the road yielded no positive result. A report by Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin.
Vehicles traveling on the stretch have stopped due to the demonstration, leaving commuters to trek the journey on foot. It was a charged atmosphere as residents protested the poor nature of the only road leading to the central business district. To show their anger, they resorted to burning tires on already damaged road as the police watched from afar. The police then started firing shots to disperse the already charged crowd. As they took to their heels, some demonstrators were injured in the process. This woman and some other victims had to be rushed to the Menchia Hospital and nearby clinics for medical attention as they were hit by rubber bullets. Some of the angry youth were also arrested, whilst others continued to protest the action of the police. The demonstrators pursued the armed police personnel demanding an explanation of their action. Angry residents said the bad nature of the road has increased traveling hours. They also claimed armed robbery on the stretch has gone up. According to the youth, vehicles from Jabeng and Ifidiase use this road during rush hours to Kumasi to avoid the heavy traffic from KNUST to the Central Business District. But because of the deplorable nature of the road, they have stopped. Leadership of the youth said they will stage a demonstration every 90 days until work on the road begins.
Police cars, 4 or 5. The police for Sabia says, one say, including a policeman. Oh, it is a saying, I just say,
the officer in charge of the Rapid Deployment Force of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Chris Klomega, told the media the police intervened when the demonstrators overstepped their bounds. He, however, confirmed the police gave permission for the demonstration. Superintendent Chris Klomega said the patrol team used anti-riot control measures, including the use of force, to disperse the crowd. The police said the patrol team would be stationed at the area until calm is restored. Meanwhile, 2 policemen were injured in the process.
We'll come back to this community and tell you what the residents are saying. But over 100 acres of land at Amanfrom in the Abokobi district of the Greater Accra region are being destroyed by the activities of illegal sand winners in the community. Joynews' Eric Curtis Howard reports the tracks of the sand winners have virtually rendered all the demarcated roads in the community unmotorable, thus affecting living conditions in the area.
Commuting from the main Adenta-Dodua road to the heart of the Amanfrom community is now a daunting task for motorists. The untarred road makes a drive on the stretch very difficult and bumpy. My attention was immediately drawn to this tipper truck driving at top speed on the stretch with the accompanying dust. Curious, I followed the truck until I got to the hub of the operations. Here, excavators and other earth-moving machines were busy at work. When confronted, the sand winners claimed they were contractors working on the road. The supposed sand contractors could not tell me who awarded the contract to them, and they refused to answer the rest of my probing questions. The activities of the sand winners are alleged to peak at dawn, where they use several earth-moving machines to cut sand from the area. Our presence in the community, however, made them to stop work for a while. A tour around the community also revealed the sand winners had dug out the surface of several demarcated roads, sometimes up to 3 feet. The extent of the environmental degradation in the area was very glaring and extensive. Several residents declined to speak on camera for fear of their lives, but a few brave ones amongst the lot said the destruction caused to the environment by the sand winners is enormous.
Omujuru ekwanu no motisa lodu makasu no mokoton enti bebi o ye bisa omo kasa omo ye kwa mai besa na omutu ekwanu ko fom no a uju ho na onti ase ama ekwan so nyina akọ ye tokuro kese bia esufa na ye di pai mai.
The trucks, the dust give us dust too much and they don't slow down self, so they just run speed in and out. When we heard they said they sell this place to the contractor to dig the filling sand over there.
Residents are clearly unhappy with the dust and noise that follows the tipper trucks and excavators as they dig into the belly of the earth. They want government to act immediately. Eric Curtis Howard, Joynews, Amanfrom.
Well, members of the Tema Accra Sand and Stone Contractors Association have given government a 2-week ultimatum to revert its decision on the implementation of the new axle load limits on trucks, or they would hit the street in protest. The Ghana Haulage Association last Saturday announced an indefinite suspension of services in protest against government's implementation of new axle load limits, which took effect on February 1.
Stone Contractors Association could not hide their frustration to the news team. The group blamed government for being insensitive to their plight. The yard where most of these trucks park and wait for their clients was virtually empty Monday morning as the drivers had commenced their sit-down strike. For the members, the new axle load fees was too much for them to pay.
Economy na ekosro bibi asay ene ko waye guka yasi e to ba go be 16 million shata ze guka nasi eye be 10 ebi dey 12 we ye 12 we say 10 we dey 67 ba ku 15 million kura ala says na go say e say enti yen ko ye adwuma no afas kan nyina ma ban ne mo metra fie ana obo se nko bokro no ana ene dey nya adwuma o
se omo anga se no say tracks ne ba Ghana no soso dia eno mutuma ye standard ne hu se omo standard a person omo de ma ye ni ebia 10 wheeler enye bia 14 cubic 12 wheeler enye bia 18 cubic ne hu se cubic na ye de nam
ye paricho oyisa as we ni fi kwano so maye madam ogira ho no my skase nko fa anwa dan nko fa half load be o mpene adabeboa nti e ka che government say oyisa we no fi kwano so maye na yon ton.
They would want government to reconsider the new regulation, which they indicated did not actually seek the well-being of operators.
They should take a second look at these directives. It is even affecting the cargo people. And with this, it will affect cocoa as well as foodstuffs, whatever I view, it will affect all. But we will not like to wash our dirty pans outside. We are advising government. He should be careful. Though we know the economy is not good, but we are telling him, if he will starve us, then we will wash dirty pans in public.
The Ghana Highway Authority on Saturday implemented the 2012 LI 2180, which sought to regulate road traffic.
Well, according to the Ministry of Education, there are about 1,000 schools today in Ghana where classes are held under trees. These include kindergarten, primary, junior high and senior high schools. Sarah Mabla de Souza visited Tuya, a community in the northern region, and reports that apart from studying under trees, pupils are taught by their mates.
Cataloging the strides made by his administration in improving access to quality education, President John Dramani Mahama noted in his first State of the Nation address on 4th January 2013 that about 40% of the over 400 schools under trees have been replaced. 10 months on and just 20 minutes drive from the northern regional capital, pupils of Tuya Primary School, aside studying under trees, have pupils as teachers. It is a private school and has a population of about 200. The structure of the school was constructed through a community self-help project. These children have left home. They sit on this log under this tree every day, determined to gain knowledge. This is class 1. It has about 20 pupils. According to the teacher, he never has a full class. For the past 2 years, they've been sitting on this log and under this tree.
Because we are now sitting under the students sitting under the tree. Some people, some students, they don't feel to come in because of the weather.
Little girl, how old are you? How old are you? Children struggle to understand what they are taught in English. Due to their inability to understand the English language mostly, the teacher is compelled to teach in both English and the local dialect.
I'm going to home. Rinse or the falling class, so come the class there and go to home.
Idris is a class 3 pupil teaching his own class. Today's lesson is pronunciation. Just to confirm, I asked if he is the teacher of the class, to which he responded,
yes.
I interacted with some of the parents in the community about education in Tuya. About 15 minutes to the close of day, we were invited to join in a game. Soon it was 12 noon and the pupils had to carry their benches and blackboards home. The teachers also walked some of the younger children to a distance where it was safe to continue. For Joynews, Sarah Mabla de Souza, Tuya in the northern region.
All right, now students at the University of Ghana, Legon, will embark on a series of protests beginning Tuesday, 11 February 2014. According to the SRC president, the protest has become necessary following the decision of school authorities to go ahead with the collection of road tolls, which started over the weekend.
Authorities of the University of Ghana on Saturday, February 1, 2014, started road tolls collections at various locations of the Legon campus. Private cars are paying 1 cedis, commercial cars 2 cedis, big trucks 3 cedis. Students are to pay 100 Ghana cedis per semester, while lecturers and senior lecturers will not pay. But students of the university are already planning to demonstrate over the toll fees. According to the SRC president, the policy is unfair to students, asking they should be exempted.
As an SRC, we are still not satisfied that our issues and the concerns that we have raised have not been addressed, and they are still implementing it. We are just asking that even if there is a need for the university to continue with the tolling system, why won't you introduce student-friendly measures? Because you can't introduce a policy to exploit us to develop the university whilst we are already paying so much. So we just took a decision, very drastic decisions. One is that we're going to embark on a series of demonstrations, and which will be starting on Tuesday.
He added the collection of road tolls has increased the cost of living on campus, a situation which is already affecting academic work.
Again, you look at the fact that they are charging commercial cars 2 Ghana cedis. Most of us patronize taxis on campus. It has led to some abnormal increment in terms of transportation fares on campus. Taxi from Okponglo to campus used to be 80 pesos, but today, because of the toll, it is 1 cedi 50 pesos. And you expect the poor students to sit down and fold their arms and accept it because we want to raise money to pay for loans that have been taken? No, definitely not. So we are just calling on government, we are calling on the university management to respond. These are legitimate concerns. We will do everything possible within our rights as students to make sure that this decision by management to continue with the toll is stopped. Until we achieve results, we are not going to relent in our efforts.
Meanwhile, the legal team has also hinted plans on suing the management of the school for contempt of court.
It is still the primetime bulletin here on Joynews and also on ABN Sky Channel 290. We'll take a quick breather. When we return, we'll go to the Kotoka International Airport, where remains of Komla Dumo are expected any moment from now. Please stay. You're welcome back. Many thanks for staying. Now, the Deputy Minister of Transport, Joyce Mokhtari, says government is committed to revamping the railway sector. Speaking at the National Executive Council meeting of Railway Workers Union in Takoradi, the Deputy Minister said an allocation of $500 million from the CDB facility will be used to develop the Western Rail Line.
The Deputy Minister made the remarks during the National Executive Council meeting of the Railway Workers Union held at Takoradi. The poor state of the railway sector has affected the salary of workers, many of whom are struggling to survive. The General Secretary of the Railway Workers Union, Godwill Ntema, is confident a salary review will entice professionals to the sector.
Since 2009, salaries of rail workers have appreciated by over 100%. But in spite of this, the managing director of Ghana Railway is still not receiving 1,000 Ghana cedis. Something is going to rely on to calculate his net pension benefit. If this is so for the managing director, then you can imagine the fate of the ordinary workers of Ghana Railway.
The acting managing director of Ghana Railway Company, George Atubochi, said one of the major concerns of both management and the union is the fate of the worker and railway operations during construction of the secondary Takoradi via Kojokrom rail line.
If we are to cease operations, what will happen to us? Because you and I know that even though the government is billing us with the salary, it doesn't pay the whole salary. We top it up from the operation of this managing service.
He disclosed traffic performance for 2013 was an improvement over that of 2012. The company carried 617,176 tons of freight out of a target of 825,000 tons in 2013. Passenger performance was, however, not encouraging as a result of the frequent breakdown of the diesel multiple unit, with 971,183 passengers being carried against a target of 2,156,856 in 2013, compared to 925,703 passengers carried against a target of 2,975,326 passengers in 2012. The Western Regional Minister Ebenezer Kujute Adu chastised workers and authorities of a railway company for illegal selling of properties of the company to individuals.
There are demands on the Metropolitan Municipal Assembly of Kappa from people who claim to have been allocated lands with documents signed by your general managers or managing directors without names. Now all these things must have to be dealt with, even for the success of the rehabilitation of the Western Rail Line.
The Deputy Minister of Transport, Joyce Mokhtari, said government realizes the importance of the railway sector and the need to re-engineer and revamp it to play its expected role in the economy.
Rail transport is actually capital intensive, and I think these views have already been ably outlined by the Honourable Western Regional Minister. It therefore requires very heavy investments. But one thing we are always mindful and think to say and say very often is that it is a social intervention and social service. Let's all remember that for as long as government on its own cannot provide these huge sums of money to invest in this industry, we will require the assistance of investors.
She was hopeful the sector will be revitalized with the rehabilitation projects underway.
Away from the Western region, our patients who visited the King's Medical Center in the Kumbungu district of the Northern region early this morning to seek medical care were left frustrated when they were told by authorities of the facility they cannot be attended to. This is because the National Health Insurance Authority has not paid them for services they rendered for close to a year now.
The King's Medical Center is a major health facility that provides medical care to over 236 farming communities in the Kumbungu and Tolon districts. Some patients to the facility travel a far distance, crossing the White Volta to seek health care. These patients, many of whom are NHIS card bearers, were turned away by authorities of the facility early Monday morning because the National Health Insurance Scheme has not paid them for services rendered to subscribers for close to a year. Some of the patients shared their frustration with Joynews. Administrator of the hospital, Gabriel Ni Otu Ankra, told Joynews that they are unable to procure drugs and pay its workers because of the huge debt that the National Health Insurance Authority owes. The maternal health care for many poor women in these farming communities is most likely to worsen if the National Health Insurance Authority does not immediately release funds to the facility so it can continue to render services to subscribers there.
Still on health, meanwhile, the Ministry of Health wishes to announce that government has released financial resources through the National Health Insurance Funds to service providers across the country. A statement signed by Public Relations Officer Tony Goodman said the ministry hopes release of the funds will go a long way to enhance provision of quality health care to insurance card holders. The Ministry of Health is committed to supporting the activities of health insurance providers and other health facilities, it said. Well, the remains of the late BBC broadcaster Komla Dumo is expected to arrive at the Kotoka International Airport, and Stephen Enti has already joined us and given us information. We're trying to establish the feed so that we can get the live visuals, but we have some pictures that's going to be up on your screens now. Pictures coming from the Kotoka International Airport where everything is set. That is Madam Koba there, spokesperson for the family of the Dumo family, speaking to some journalists there. And as you can see, the media presence, as Stephen Ainty said earlier on, has been heavy. Fifi Koite, other dignitaries all seated as they wait for the remains of Komla Dumo. These are pictures coming to you live from the Kotoka International Airport where the remains, as we said and as we've been saying, of Komla Dumo are expected tonight. Seems like it's going to be a quiet and long night, but we're still expectant of the remains. Now then, Kosohene of Cape Coast. Well, let's move on to other stories now. The Ghana Air Traffic Controllers Association has warned it will withdraw air navigation services to airlines operating domestic flight beginning February 8. A letter signed by the president of Air Traffic Controllers Association, Michael Kwapon Atemu, stated the decision was influenced by some unresolved issues between staff and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. According to the letter, the planned withdrawal of services will be cancelled if the two groups reach an agreement by February 7. Airlines to be affected include Stabo, Fly 540, Amtrak Air, Africa World Airlines, Gain Air, Talo Aviation and VRA Aviation. The Air Traffic Controllers Association is advising airlines to make necessary arrangements. Meanwhile, some airlines Joynews visited refused to comment on the issue. Attempts to reach the air traffic controllers also proved unsuccessful. So you and I have been waiting. Let's go now live to the Kotoka International Airport. It appears we're having some technical challenges, but they are going to be resolved soon, and we'll bring you the live visuals right from the Kotoka International Airport. Please stay with us. All right, the aircraft, we understand, is already on the tarmac. Let's cross over right now to the Kotoka International Airport. Stephen Ainty, what more can you tell us? Hello, Stephen. Okay, we're still trying to establish contact with our correspondent at the Kotoka International Airport to bring you live updates as far as what's happening is concerned. Now, we're still trying to get the visuals for you. We will get the visuals, definitely. We seem to have some technical challenges, but as you can see, and as we've told you, these are pictures from the Kotoka International Airport. Media persons, expectant, family members, friends, and members of state, ministers of state, all expectant of the body. We understand that the aircraft that is carrying the remains of Komla Dumo has landed on the tarmac right there at the Kotoka International Airport. And Stephen will have some updates for us. Stephen, what more can you tell us?
I can say that the aircraft which is carrying the remains of Komla Dumo, which is British Airways flight number BA801, has touched down. So as I'm speaking now, the traditional rulers of Aflao have started the singing of dirges, and It started the processes, which the rituals that they have to do in order to receive the body. So we are all currently waiting patiently to see the body disembarked from the British Airways flight, which has touched down right now, and it's very, very taxed. It's taxed close to the VIP lodge at the airport here, and so that's what I can report.
It must be a very heavy moment, and we are seeing the visuals live here. It must be a very heavy moment, although the aircraft is still taxiing, it's about to land. I assume that the atmosphere there is heavy.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry that it's very
well, I'm
noisy
saying that
here, so
we can see the visuals live. We can see the aircraft that is still taxiing and about to land. But I'm saying that even as it is yet to land, I assume the atmosphere there will be very heavy.
Well, I mean, if I could hear you right. I mean, I just told you that the aircraft had taxied, so we're waiting for the body to be removed from the aircraft. So as is custom, they have to guide the plane to park at a certain angle, to taxi actually in a certain angle to make it easier and possible for the body to be removed and then placed right on the stand, the podium which has been created to receive the body. So what we've been told is that the traditional rulers will rightly receive the body and they will perform the necessary rituals, because as you may know already, Komla Dumo is the youth development chief of Aplau, so they will accord him that royal dignitary by receiving him in a royal manner. Now, after they have finished their rituals, then the church, which it belongs to the Roman Catholic Church, will take over. And we are told by the spokesperson of the family that this is going to be a very short ceremony. So right now, the British Airways taxiing in position. It has already come to a stop, but I can see that it is being turned to make it easier for the body to be removed from the aircraft for the ceremony to continue.
All right, Stephen, we will stay with you. We will surely come along with you and know exactly what's going to happen. And all right. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. Stephen Ainty has been coming to us from the Kotoka International Airport, and as you saw, the aircraft carrying the remains of Komla Dumo has landed. We'll go back to him, but before that, we'll settle for business news right after this.
Time now for some business reports with me, Abigail Adumakoinchi. Now, the Minister for Trade and Industry, Haruna Idrisu, has charged officials at the various borders to collaborate with stakeholders of the textile industry and ensure pirated prints do not enter the country. At a stakeholder conference in Accra, he made it clear that the activities of the anti-pirated textile task force in the markets have only been suspended to allow them sensitize traders on textile piracy in the first quarter of this year.
Vibrant textile industry, which employed over 30,000 workers and contributed immensely to the economy, seems to be losing its hold due to the influx of pirated textile prints on the market. Putting the activities of the anti-pirated textile task force on hold is also causing some jitters in the sector. The textile traders who maintain the task force should revise the activities, insist the challenge should be dealt with at the borders.
ATL for and GTP for and our printers were design singing now. In task force and one call borders nano. No one call them a tax force no one jail guan mine or Sunday honor with the free bar. Nasa issue itunana.
Our problem is that they should not invade the market because we don't manufacture in the market. All that we do is to buy and we sell in the market. So when they come to the market, it brings fear and panic to the traders, to the to those buying, everybody. They should come to the market, bring their new design, their registered ones, for us to know that these ones are registered ATL, registered GTP, so that no one will buy.
But the task force says that will not prevent them from swooping on those who sell pirated prints on the market.
It is not possible for you to arrest people at the borders because, you know, our borders, we have a border station here, and the next 20 kilometers, there's no station there. And those who stay there will by mistake advantage. But the issue is that when you buy something from a thief, you know, the police will not say you didn't know that the person was a thief. You will be charged for dishonestly receiving. In fact, the offense that the women are committing is similar to that. Whether they know or they don't know, the issue is that they are dealing in pirated textiles, and it's an offense.
These debates brought stakeholders together to discuss the way forward for the industry. While the task force has been given the mandate to sensitize the textile traders for the first quarter of the year, during the first quarter of the year, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Haruna Idrisu, also charged SEPs and all the other security agencies to be up and doing.
Check the porousness of the border and use border control in order that you will not subject market women to the harassment of the task force. That is not to say that the activities and actions of the task force are not rooted in law. They have a responsibility. But to our custom officials who are here, you have a national responsibility. Your title, as I understand it, is Custom, Excise and Preventive Service. Custom because you bring some import taxes, excise because you monitor what is produced locally, and preventive because you must stringently monitor and control the borders and not permit the entry into our country of all unacceptable pirated textiles into the country.
He also urged the traders to collaborate with the task force and all other agencies to rid of piracy in the textile industry.
The current challenges facing the Ghana cedi has forced Bank of Ghana to move its first monetary policy committee meeting for this year forward. The committee planned to begin meeting on February 17 and hold a press conference on February 19. However, Joy Business gathers that due to mounting pressure on the Bank of Ghana to do more to stabilize the depreciating cedi, the regulator now wants to engage journalists this Thursday after meeting from today to review the health of the economy. The central bank, in a statement released earlier today, confirmed the change in dates for the meeting and press conference. Sources say the bank would be using this Thursday's engagement to announce new set of measures to help hold the local currency's free fall and the state of the economy over the past months. And that'll be all by way of business reports. I'm Abigail Adumakwentri. Do stay tuned for more news.
And as you know, we're following activities happening right now at the Kotoka International Airport. And as we saw earlier, the aircraft that's carrying the remains of Komla Dumo had already landed. Let's go to Stephen. He can tell us more from there. Hello, Stephen. Okay, we lost Stephen there. But as you can see, the traditionalists have taken the stage right there at the Kotoka International Airport doing their own thing as they wait for the body of their royal. Established contact with Stephen. I think we have now. Stephen, can you tell us what is happening there at Kotoka International Airport?
We are in the same situation now. The dignitaries, I reckon that these are the family members, the immediate family members and friends of Komla who escorted the body to Ghana have just disembarked and headed to the VIP lodge. So we're now still waiting for the body to be removed from the aircraft, and subsequently the necessary rituals that have to be performed will begin. So that's the situation we are in now. You do know that when the aircraft touches down, the passengers in the aircraft will have to disembark first before any cargo, I must say, will be removed from the aircraft. So that's what we're waiting for. And so any moment from now, we reckon that the body should be removed from the aircraft and the ceremonies that need to be performed will begin.
Right, Stephen, and we do understand and bear with the family in these very difficult times that they would like to keep this as private as possible. But we also do know that Komla is not such a private person.
The line is breaking and
let me try again.
Is not very pleasant, so I cannot hear you very well. But that's the update I've given you, Gifty, and I have seen the children of Komla Dumont and the immediate family members and the wife disembarked from the aircraft and gone to the VIP lounge, and I reckon that they will later come and sit down and take part in the ceremonies that will proceed after the body is put on the stand that is allocated for it.
I just wanted to find out if you could tell us if you had picked up any signals as to exactly where the body will be taken to, as much as the family wants to keep it private.
From family sources I spoke to, that the body will be taken to the Lashibi funeral home. There were discussions of whether it will be taken to 37 or Lashibi funeral home. And a while ago, I got a lead, which I cannot confirm, but I got the lead that the body will be taken from here to Lashibi funeral home.
Right. But, well, I don't know about the other side, because what we can see here is traditionalists, playing their traditional music and all. We can't really tell, is there a part of the family, is there a part of where you are that you can describe the mood to us? I suppose it will be heavy.
I mean, on the back of the traditional drumming and dancing that you can hear in the background are the royal, the traditional rulers of Aflao, the paramount chief, Amenya Afiti himself is seated, and with his delegates, his delegation, I beg your pardon, are all seated right on the left wing of the performers, those who are drumming and dancing. Just right on their left shoulder are the chiefs. So the paramount chief is seated with an entourage of his. These, I believe, are a delegation from the Aflao Traditional Council. So besides them, I have seen Chifa, the tourism minister, Chifa herself, Chifa Gomashi herself. And then I told you earlier that I have also spotted the minister at the presidency, Fifi Kwete, who came with an earlier delegation. And, of course, Esther Koba, who speaks for the family, is also seated right there. So what you may not be able to tell is the difference between the traditional rulers and the church group, because the church group, I haven't seen them seated yet. But our understanding is that the traditional rulers will go ahead to do their necessary rituals to receive the body, after which the church, the Catholic Church, will also perform theirs. Now from there, the family will now take the body for keeping at a private funeral home, and which I told you I've gathered is the Lashibi funeral home. Then afterwards, we are expecting perhaps an announcement to be made of the formal ceremonies that will be performed, funeral rites, and etc. and burial. These update, I'm told that we'll be giving only when the body has arrived in Ghana. So this is what we are waiting for. Yes, sir.
Something being moved away from the aircraft. I'm not so sure if it is the body indeed, but would like you to go after it for us and let's know what it is. We'll come to you again shortly, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Yipsy.
All right, that is Stephen Ainty coming to us live from the Kotoka International Airport with some updates. We're trying to find out from him if he has picked any leads, and he tells us that he cannot confirm though, but it appears the body will be going to Lashibi. Well, up next is sports, but we will definitely return to Kotoka International Airport. Please stay with us.
Sports is brought to you in association.
Right, time to pick the sporting headlines. And the Ghana Football Association has called on Premier League clubs to ensure the league's new sponsor receives the mileage it deserves to attract other sponsors. Clubs have consistently failed to organize pre- and post-match interviews over the years, much to the disappointment of former headline sponsors. The FA, however, insists the clubs must be responsible with respect to the first-class plus sponsorship. Sunny Dara speaks for the Ghana FA.
We also have to be, cautiously optimistic in telling the clubs that they have now got the responsibility in helping us retain the sponsor and even attract more sponsors. If the sponsor feels that, it's come on board and it's had, the necessary mileage that it's supposed to get, we will be able to attract new sponsors and retain our existing sponsors. The problem we've had in the past is that a sponsor comes and he feels that I'm sponsoring the league, I'm not getting the mileage I deserve. So the clubs must not come and take the sponsorship money and go to bed. It must be made compulsory that clubs must do pre- and post-match conferences. It is the only way where we can get visibility for our sponsors. If you want to start, or let's say you want to play a league match on Sunday, what prevents you from inviting the press?
George Addy Jr. Gifty joins us with more from the Kotoka International Airport.
More and more things are happening at the Kotoka International Airport, and let's go back there right now. That's the body. The remains of Komla Dumo that you see there in your shot. We do not understand exactly what's going to happen there, but we're still following in. Let me just give you a very quick background, as you may know, of Komla, but it is good always to refresh our memories of him and what he stood for, what he lived for. Surely he left the shores of Ghana with so much optimism, with so much life, but here we are taking his lifeless body back home. Such, they may say, is life. So let's just quickly look at Komla's early life and education. He was born in Accra, Ghana, to his father, Professor Ernest Dumont, who was a professor of sociology, and his mother, Cecilia Dumont, who had a master's degree in mass communication of blessed memory now. His grandfather, Philip Beho, is also the composer of the Ghana National Anthem. Komla Dumont initially studied pre-clinical medicine at the University of Jos, Nigeria, but left for his home country where he graduated, which is Ghana, where he graduated from the University of Ghana with a BSc in sociology and psychology, and from Harvard University with an MA in public administration. Let's go back to Stephen. Let's go back to Stephen and see if he can hear us and give us some more updates so that we can understand exactly what's happening there. Hello, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Hi, Gifty, I can hear you.
Fantastic. I've seen the body being moved around, but we can understand that. Could you please explain?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it yet because where we are, we have been put behind a barricade. So we're actually just waiting for it to come close to where we are. So So, like I told you earlier, the family has arrived. That's what I can see. So if you can see in your shop anything else, we're yet to witness it from where we are.
From where you are. But can you tell me, I've been interested in the mood of the family, because in these times it must be very difficult, although we know about the death and we've, celebrated him over and over again. But in this moment where you see the remains of your son, your father, your loved one, it must be a very difficult moment for the family, Stephen.
It is. And like I said earlier, the demeanor of Esther Koba was a clear indication of the anguish and pain the family is going through, and it shows in their faces. I mean, if you look at the traditional rulers and the core family members that are seated, everybody's in deep reflection and deep mourning. So, like I said earlier, I mean, if there's been any doubt, if there's been any unbelief that indeed this loved son of ours, of theirs, has passed on, this unbelief is all eliminated today as the body touches down, and they are all going to see the body lying in a coffin or a casket. I'm not sure which of it will be coming in. And to be laid right in front of them for the ceremony rituals to begin. So you can tell from their demeanor. I am not particularly familiar with Ewe culture, but I can see from their dressing, clad in all red and black attire, in very sorrowful demeanor, that indeed they are mourning. And then right in front of the traditional rulers are the members of the delegation who are sitting on the bare floor. I mean, this is, in a traditional setting, a demonstration of deep mourning and deep sorrow. So that's what I can visualize from where I am now. And these indications I'm giving you clearly suggest that this is not a good day. This is not a happy day for the family which is receiving.
Okay, I am sure, Stephen, that you cannot see what I'm seeing right now, but what I'm seeing on the screen now is a casket clad in something that looks more like a kente cloth with some people surrounding it, and I'm sure that this is the body of Komla Dumo. But
I'm not able to see what you're seeing because apart from our cameraman who has been granted closer access, all journalists have been caged in a barricade. So we're waiting for the body to come close to where we are now. When it gets here, we can have a clearer view.
Well, Stephen, more often than not, we have to report because we are reporters. But you do know that the media is a fraternity that's very close to Komla. And how are they taking this? How are they? I mean, they're doing their jobs, all right, but how are they taking it?
We've spoken to a couple of journalists about the questions like how they were inspired by Komla's work and how they hope to take on this inspiration from here on. And I can tell you that the fraternity is wounded. The fraternity is in deep sorrow and pain. This loss, like a great inspiration to many people. For us broadcasters, the few I've spoken to from the various television stations and radio stations speak of the influence this great man has in shaping their career. Many of them do not have a personal relationship with the man, but they are able to attest to the professionalism and the high standards he lived up to, for which they are inspired. And that beyond this, beyond the fact that tomorrow we're not going to see him anymore, many of them are fired up to live up to the highest standards of journalism that he set. And so I can tell you that as anxious as we all are to see the body come close to us, we're also inspired by the fact that he lived up to the task of high professionalism for which many of us here would like to see in our careers. In any little way, we find ourselves working as journalists.
Well, Well, Stephen, earlier on when the family called on the president, he did indicate that government will support the family in any way. What do you see from government side? I mean, apart from the ministers of state who are there represented, what would you say has been government's role as far as all the processes happening there are concerned?
Well, I won't be able to expressly say that, but I can tell you from the indications I have here, from what I see, from the order of security, from the protocol arrangement, and how the conduct of this is being done, that this is a clear indication of the role government is playing. I've seen some presidential staffers here guiding proceedings and ensuring that journalists are within their demarcation. So for me, I mean, I feel that this is fair, that playing a positive height, this ensuring that there is order and that this is done to the best of Ghanaian culture and to dignify the image of Ghana to the international media, which are also here. So this is what I can see expressly. I may not be able to quantify the role government has played in this, but you can see yourself that there is order here. There's full security present. The police is here. And I've seen some presidential staffers also going about their work, ensuring that people are in the right queues, people are seated at the right places, etc. So the fact that I have seen the tourism minister, Chifakumashi, and I've seen presidential staffer is an indication that there is a higher delegation of government officials who are present here. And I've seen the chief operating officer of Multi-TV, Klaus von Backenstein, who accompanied the body from London, taking his seat now.
Is it possible to talk to him?
His seat alongside with other dignitaries who returned from London this evening. So
is it possible to talk to him?
I can report for now.
Yes, thank you, Stephen. But is it possible to talk to him or any other person there?
No, right now they have moved away. So we will do our very best to get them at the least opportunity we get, so we can speak to them live. You see.
Okay, thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you very, very much. You're doing a good job there as we all mourn our own Komla Dumo. But we're coming to you live from the Kotoka International Airport. Our correspondent on the ground, Stephen Ainty, is smart, bringing us live updates from there. As we can see, things have sort of come to some kind of a standstill right now, but we'll be going back there when the action is still ongoing, and then we'll bring you more. But let me just... let's just come back to studio now and do some international news. But of course, like I said, we'll go back there to find out what's happening. Former Nigerian Vice President Atiku Abubakar has defected to the main opposition party, adding a heavyweight name to a group that poses an increasing threat to the ruling People's Democratic Party PDP in elections next year. Abubakar, a founding member of PDP and vice president between 1999 and 2007, joins 5 state governors and dozens of lawmakers who have recently signed up with the All Progressive Congress APC. And back to Kotoka International Airport. As I have said, it has been a very difficult moment, but we thank God that they are finally here. But before we go, a recap of our top stories. The body of the late BBC broadcaster Komla Dumo has arrived in Accra. It was received by Chief of Aflao Traditional Area, Togbi Amenyafeti V, and clergy of the Catholic Church. Angry residents of Kenyasi in the Ashanti region have threatened to continue demonstrating until roads in their community are repaired. Today, they battled the police, resulting in injuries to some residents and police personnel. The Deputy Minister of Transport, Joyce Muktari, said government is committed to revamping the railway sector. In business, members of the Sand and Stone Contractors Association are giving government a 2-week ultimatum to revert its decision on the implementation of the new Axle Road limits, which took effect on February 1. On international front, Nigerian Vice President Atiku Abubakar has defected to the main opposition party. He joined 5 other state governors and dozens of lawmakers who have defected recently. And as we continue to keep Komla Dumo in our hearts, it's a good night from us here at Joynews on Multi TV. Many thanks for your time. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. To sleep well.